Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Man, I just wanted to tap in with y'all for a quick second and do this upload. And I wanted to build on a portion of the Larry Elder interview that he did with the Breakfast Club. I'm not 100% hip on dude. I tapped into a little bit of what he was saying prior to this interview just to kind of do some research on dude beforehand. And of course, like everybody, he said some things that I might be like, okay, cool. But then he also said a bunch of things where I'm looking at him like, nah, fam, we ain't rocking with that. You know, now this Breakfast Club interview was rather interesting. I'm about to show a clip from the interview where he was basically saying it's crazy for us to believe that the FBI killed Martin Luther King Jr. because we don't have the evidence. Now, I'm not too fond of the Breakfast Club, nor am I too fond of the particular black chick that was hitting them with the questions. I don't think she was the best representative in regards to this field, man. She was messing up a lot in this interview. So we needed somebody that was better equipped to handle dude because honestly, this Larry Elder dude served him up in this interview. So we needed better representation. You know, we needed way better representation. You know, other than her and Charlemagne and DJ Envy. I don't feel like they came with it in that particular interview because he said a lot of things that if a person was well read and did their research, they could have chopped him up. They could have destroyed that man. You know, but I'm about to play this clip from this interview. I'm gonna play this one clip where where they were talking about Martin Luther King being killed by the FBI, this, that, and the third. So let me play this clip real quick for y'all. Give me a second.
About a position. I'm not talking about a mayor. You know,
so you're basically saying that they're black faces that are still in those positions, but they're still
correct. Similar to you, Mr. Elder, you're a black face in a position in the conservative movement. They're just the same. They're just on the other side. I'm talking about.
So then, when Martin Luther King said in 1966, I believe there could be a black president in about 40 years' time, then it really doesn't matter if there's one or isn't. One because nothing changes. He was naive.
He was naive. Killed him as well. We know that the FBI and the CIA also killed him. That system. You realize that, correct?
Wow. An individual killed him.
Right. That was also a part of Pro Hotel through the system. Correct?
Not correct. Not correct. He was killed.
The FBI didn't have anything to do with it. The CIA didn't have anything to do with it.
J. Edgar Hoover was definitely on Martin's ass. Like, come
on. I didn't say he wasn't. No. Robert Kennedy is the one that approved the wiretaps. But to say that the FBI killed him, I mean, what's your evidence of that?
Oh no,
that's a pretty serious charge.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Pretty serious charge. Yeah. Serious charge requires serious evidence.
Yeah.
What is your enforcement law proposal?
It is to.
Now, y'all saw that clip, and y'all know how I feel about what he said. And he tried to make them look foolish, or he tried to make her look foolish for saying that the system killed Martin Luther King Jr. He basically, when he took that deep breath and was like, wow, basically was like, man, this idiot. That's the vibe I got when he took the breath and was like, wow, she just said the FBI is responsible for the death or the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. He was like, wow, you really believe that? As if that's an erroneous belief. It ain't even a belief. It's a fact. It's an actual fact. Because let's deal with his logic. Because he thought he was killing him. You know, so let's deal with his logic. He said an individual killed Martin Luther King Jr. Now, let's rewind back to that time, the climate in which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in. Let's rewind to that climate. Racial tension was real high. Why was racial tension high? So this individual this individual that felt it was necessary to assassinate Martin Luther King Jr., why was his mind programmed to carry out that assassination in the first place? Martin Luther King Jr. ain't did nothing to nobody. Martin Luther King Jr. was preaching turn the other cheek. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't out here preaching violence. So why did one individual have it set in his mind that he gonna have to assassinate Martin Luther King Jr.? Would that not be the result of systemic programming? So let's deal solely with his logic. Let's not even talk about mind control, all this other stuff that goes on that we know about. Let's just deal with Larry Elder's logic that an individual killed Martin Luther King. Like, how we gonna separate the individual from the system when the individual was inspired by the system that programmed him to carry out the assassination? That makes zero sense. Why was Martin Luther King having to preach the message that he was preaching in the first place? Because the system was oppressing his people. If you didn't have this wicked system, there would be no need for Martin Luther King to come with the message that he was coming with. Therefore, there would be no need for this individual to assassinate him in the first place. So for that man to sit there and say the system or the FBI, the CIA, whoever we want to get that credit to, for him to act like that system has or had no role in the assassination of that man is ridiculous. And if anybody talks like that, I automatically give them the Sambo label. I do not trust a person like that, because that makes zero sense for me to just act like some random individual up and decided to kill Martin Luther King Jr. The Martin Luther King Jr. who would not go out of his way to kill anybody with all the stuff that was done to him by the oppressor, by the enemy. So I'm supposed to just believe that an individual separated himself from the system, or an individual separate from the system just woke up and decided, I'm going to assassinate Martin Luther King. And it was no involvement from government, FBI, CIA, all of those alphabet boys. No involvement. Come on, man. We cannot be that disconnected. We cannot be that brainwashed. That's again why I don't like to fool with a lot of these elder black dudes that be in the politics, man, because a lot of them be having that type of mentality, fam. Y'all cannot be believing that, fam. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Fam, I got a good book right here. Talk about the assassination of our good brother Fred Hampton. This book, The Assassination of Fred Hampton, How the FBI and the Chicago Police Murdered a Black Panther. There is ample evidence in this particular book that shows and proves how the FBI and the Chicago police murdered this man, how they got his good brother to infiltrate the Panther Party, paid him off and made promises that they did not fulfill to the brother, to give him the layout of the apartment complex, fam, to build that relationship with Fred Hampton so they can get on the inside and know everything there is to know about that man. Man, this is well documented that the FBI and the Chicago police set that up. Well documented. So if they did that to our good brother Fred, why would we not think that they did that to Martin Luther King Jr.? And I was never the biggest Martin Luther King Jr. fan in regards to his approach towards that situation. Of course, I'm more Malcolm than anything. But to sit here and act like the FBI had to do, or the government in general had nothing to do with the assassination of that man, is ridiculous. And you got to be an agent for you to be spitting that type of rhetoric and misinformation out here. You know, they take a lot of videos down and a lot of content down by accusing it of being misinformation, medical misinformation, this, that, and the third. But somebody like that can get up there and say that. He can get up there and say that, and people think he actually ate by saying that. Like I said, the black chick may not have been the best representation. Charlamagne DJ may not have been the best representation in regards to having that debate with him, or that conversation or that dialogue with him. I feel like they failed. with that conversation. Man, they should have ate him alive in that particular piece that I showed. They should have ate him alive, should have destroyed him for making her seem like an idiot for even insinuating that that's what happened. Because come on, fam. We got all type of evidence, man, that the FBI, man, they didn't tap the phones, man. They COINTELPRO. I mean, they don't want to see the rise of a black messiah. Like, they put the agenda in the COINTELPRO files, fam. So when you got a brother like Martin Luther King that was rising to the ranks, that was influencing a massive amount of black people, why would they not strive to get rid of that man, especially due to the fact that he was about to deviate from what they wanted him to do? Martin Luther King was coming to the light, which is the real reason why he was assassinated. Martin Luther King was about to deviate and separate himself from the message that they wanted him to give to his people, to his congregation, to his followers. That's the real reason he was assassinated. He wasn't just assassinated by some random individual that just woke up and said, you know what, I'm just going to kill Martin Luther King Jr. today because I want to. It has nothing to do with the system, has nothing to do with the influence that the system has on me. Like some of you elders need to be ashamed of yourselves, man, for being this brainwashed and then spitting that to the youth. Now, again, he might have said some things in that particular interview that I agreed with, you know, but this particular part, man, when black people hold that type of perspective, like they give our government too much credit. They give our government the benefit of the doubt, like our government wasn't built on racist principles and doesn't have a very racist foundation. And that foundation has yet to be destroyed. So if that foundation has yet to be destroyed, then why would I believe that this system is any different? Why would I believe that? We haven't destroyed this system and created an entirely new system. So this is the same system that was built on those racist principles and has that racist foundation. This is the same principle that told us we 3/5 of a human being. This is the same system that at a point of time had the blacks only, whites only. And if you caught on this side of town, off with your head, lynching us. And I'm talking about lynching us, and it was a spectacle. Like, it's on the news. Like, come and watch this black man get lynched because he looked at a white woman the wrong way. Come and watch and celebrate. These are the savages that were responsible for creating this racist system and upholding this racist system. So I don't like when you got elder black men that's in their 60s and 70s that be giving this government to the benefit of the doubt. Because this government tore down some of your peers, man. You saw that up close and personal. They instilled that fear in you, though, by doing that. So now they got you spooked out and got you speaking this nonsense and this garbage. Like, that's garbage, man. I'm never giving this government the benefit of the doubt. I know that the alphabet community is responsible for the assassination of a lot of our great ancestors for no other reason than they did not want to see the black man rise to reach the status of Messiah. Why isn't it ironic that majority of these people, when they got to a certain level of influence with their people and they came with a certain message, they got assassinated or they got in some type of trouble to where they getting locked up or deported? Marcus Garvey. So we can go down the list of all these important people that then got assassinated. And they gonna have common denominators when it comes down to their message. So I'm supposed to believe that that's just a coincidence. That all these good brothers just died, and some of them died mysteriously, and I'm supposed to believe that this system has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. The same system that created a COINTELPRO, a counterintelligence program that was designed to prevent the rise of black men. I'm supposed to believe they have nothing to do with these powerful black men getting assassinated and killed mysteriously. Miss me with that nonsense, man. See, that's the type of energy that we do not need at all. And it'll be brothers like that that set us back. Talking about you a Republican. Man, I ain't no Democrat. I ain't no Republican, because neither one of those parties has anything to do with black folks. The origin of, like, listen, when it comes down to the origin of both parties, neither one of those parties were created by folks that look like me. So I ain't claiming neither one of them parties. Why should I? Stop playing with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to wake up, man, and we got to stop spitting that nonsense and that garbage, man, for real. Let's speak the truth to the power, no matter how uncomfortable it makes the masses. If don't nobody do it, I'm going to see to it that I do it. But I'm out, y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Peace.